Hello again, I am Blunty. This is the Alienware 13-inch. This right here is one of the smallest, lightest laptops out there that can also do VR. Because not only does this have a 7th generation Intel 4-core i7 CPU in there, but it has a GTX 1060 in there. Now, there are configurations of this very same laptop with a 1050 or a 1050 Ti as well, but if you want to get the VR level one, it's the 1060 one you've got here. And, as you can see right now, I'm running a benchmark right here. This is the Valley benchmark. Fans are as loud as they'll ever get. I'm going to shut up for just a minute and let you sort of listen to how loud or how not loud these fans are when it's under full benchmarking load. Not bad. I mean, it's not the most pleasant sounding fan I've ever heard in my life. The pitch is a little bit high for my taste, but as far as volume level, when it's maxing out, a benchmarking load, for a laptop this thin and light, it's kind of very impressive because, you know, if you get a thin laptop, the fans have to be thin, the heat pipes have to be thin, or the heat sinks have to be thin, and the fans have to work, usually, a lot harder to get that heat out of there because there's not as much thermal mass as there are in chunky laptops. Which is, by the way, exactly why most Alienware laptops are chunkier than some of the other brands' sort of equivalent models. Alienware like to sort of go aggressive on the cooling. This time, though, they figured out how to do it in a slim laptop and keep the fans relatively quiet and get you performance that will do, you know, 1080p, AAA, ultra-level gaming, and VR. But you guys know me, there's tell, and then there's show. So let's show.
The combination of a 7th gen Intel i7, specifically the 7700HQ, and a GTX 1060 isn't something we're unfamiliar with at this point. In fact, it seems to be one of the best and indeed most popular 1-2 punches for gaming laptops around, nicely balancing performance, size, heat, and price. With that in mind, the benchmark results from both Valley and Heaven roll in at the very much expected 65 FPS or so. The Firestrike and DX12 based TimeSpy benchmarks similarly offer no surprises at all, rolling in with the expected window of numbers and ranking the Alienware 13 slightly below a GTX 970 based desktop PC. And just like you'd expect, that level of performance will let you snap right to high and indeed ultra settings for AAA gaming. Now, for the sake of transparency here, I did actually have more gameplay to show you, but my externally recorded footage of Doom and Watch Dogs 2 and Project Cars and The Witcher 3 all got messed up thanks to some pretty embarrassing user error over here that I'm not going to openly admit to, but you know, like I said, performance is exactly what we've come to expect from an i7 and a GTX 1060 in a laptop, so sorry I can't show you the games. I think by now most of you know you can trust me when I say they played really quite nicely. Like its big brother models I've looked at in the past, Alienware's Alien FX RGB stuff is all here too, including that sweet soft glowing touchpad I love so much. Sure, it's silly and of no practical use, but it looks so damn cool with its frosted glass looking glow. Aside from looking cool though, it's actually a damn fine touchpad to use. Great tactility, I really like it. The keyboard also remains the same as other current Alienware models. It's not the best keyboard I've ever used on a laptop, but it's a long way from being anywhere close to the worst of them. In fact, I have no real complaints to make. The action, spacing, and feel of the keys are all very nice to type on, and offered no barrier to gaming either.
And not only are the fans relatively quiet, by the way, but I just want to turn the speakers on here to give you an idea. Where's my mute? Now, of course, recording speakers on a laptop into a microphone through the medium of YouTube, you are never going to hear what I hear precisely. I'm just trying to give you an idea of the volume level, which is quite impressive for a little laptop. I am having to speak over them with some effort. And the sound is pretty good as well. They don't distort at max volume. It is a little bit thin, like it's not a hi-fi sound, but it is certainly good enough for day-to-day tasks, watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. If you're playing games or watching movies, I would recommend a set of headphones to get a much better sound out of them. The audio driver in here and everything sounds pretty good. I have tried it with headphones, of course, but it's pretty good. Let me, whoosh. So yeah, plenty of volume out of the thing. So if you are sort of sitting in your bedroom and whatnot, you've got it up on your desk or something, you're just watching some YouTube or some Twitch in the background or something, plenty of volume to pump this thing out. Easy peasy. When it comes to I/O, there are very few compromises as well. There's a Thunderbolt 3.0 port on the back there, USB 3.0 port on the side here, regular USB ports all around. It's got the extension port on the back, so you can use it with Alienware's graphics amplifier if you want to you know, get a 1080 Ti or something to run this thing while you're sitting at your desk and things like that. There's Ethernet on the back here as well as DisplayPort out. So, you know, it's pretty well equipped when it comes to I/O stuff. The screen on this one is the standard screen. There is also an OLED screen variation of this available, which I don't have, but apparently it looks fantastic. The standard screen that I've got here is pretty nice. The colors, saturation, sort of Christmas, it's all pretty good. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Sort of it's a fair middle ground, but you know, I have no complaints about staring at this thing for a few hours on end playing games. So it also does have Tobii eye tracking built into it as well, which I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, it works, and it works quite well with the demo and stuff. You try, you know, if you don't know what Tobii eye tracking is, it tracks your eyes, it tracks your gaze. So if you're playing a game, it can tell where you're looking, and depending if the game has support built into it, it can do cool things. Like there's a demo game for it where you just you're flying through space and you just look at the asteroids you want to shoot, and it does work really, really quite reliably and well. But I've never been able to get over the gimmick factor. It's really cool technology, but I just don't feel like it weaves its way into my use cases. But there you go. That is the Alienware 13, and I really am quite impressed with it. It's a nice balance between power and portability and size and function. Everything. The keyboard's nice. Lots of I/O on it. They've really struck a nice balance in the compromise you have to make to get this much power into a laptop this small. Quite like it is available, like I said, with the 1050 and 1050 Ti in it. The 1060 ones are the ones you want for, proper, full-on AAA ultra-level gaming and VR and stuff like that. And there are two variations of the ones with the GTX 1060 in them as well, with 16 and 32 gigabytes of memory respectively. In both cases, the GTX 1060 itself has the proper 6 gigabytes of memory on there, so there's no compromises on that either. It is a reasonably light laptop. I mean, it's not featherweight, but for what you get inside it is reasonably light as well. Packs up nice and slim. The only thing I really don't like about this laptop is the surfaces. On the back here, there's a lovely sort of metallic, I mean, it's plastic, but it's a metallic sort of finish on the back there, and I find that's really, really attractive. But the soft touch surfaces that are everywhere else, like on the sort of wrist rests on the keyboard here, I love the feel of that stuff. It's really, really pleasant to touch, but it picks up finger grease like you would not believe. I was forever cleaning this thing through on my testing period because it just looks horrible. So yeah, I think that's all the important bits I wanted to tell you about the Alienware 13 here. I really do love this mouse pad.
Alright, they do. Thank you for watching. I am Blunty, and I will catch you next time.